Hi friends, the black phone is back.
Yes! 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 Yes!
Although it's a bit strange.
No! No! No!
Because instead of being about a human psychopath who kidnaps children, now it's about a kind of Freddy Krueger with the same powers to control dreams.
What?
Still, the movie is entertaining. So sit back and get comfortable because in this video, I'm going to recap the movie.
Welcome to Random Recaps. In this video, I'm going to recap the movie.
In 1957, Hope Adler, counselor at the Christian camp Alpine Lake in the Rocky Mountains, uses the camp's public phone to talk to an unknown person about her recurring dreams after witnessing several boys writing 7 numbers on the ice. While trying to figure out who she's talking to, the call cuts off abruptly, leaving her scared and confused. In October 1982, 4 years after Finney killed the grabber, his sister Gwen finds Finney fighting at school, which has become a habit for him, as it's one of the ways Finn uses to pretend he's not afraid.
Anyone else?
Chill out, bro.
Knowing how violent her brother has become, Gwen asks him to control himself. At that moment, Ernesto, the brother of Finn's best friend Robin, invites Gwen to a concert, although Finney doesn't like the idea.
I just don't like it.
Later, we notice that Finney is still traumatized by his kidnap, and because of that, he spends his time smoking.
If you try to touch me, I'll scratch your face. This face?
His sister notices, and although she doesn't understand what he feels, she tells him that she'll always support him. That night, Gwen starts dreaming about some children at the Alpine Lake camp in 1957. Children who were attacked one by one. Upon waking, she hears a phone ringing. She gets up and walks toward the house door, where Finney realizes that she's sleepwalking. His sister tells him that she had a nightmare, but Finn doesn't pay much attention to it.
I heard you. Just go back to bed.
The next day, while Gwen is researching about the dreams, Ernesto shows up and gives her tickets for the concert. On top of that, he gives her tarot cards because he knows from her parents that she has abilities to know things. That same day, we realize that Finn is still getting phone calls even when they're out of service.
I'm sorry, but I can't help you.
Gwen dreams about the children again, and every day each one of them writes a letter for her. The phone rings again, and Gwen walks out of the house again. She travels to the same house where Finney was kidnapped and answers the black phone.
Hello?
Upon answering, we realize that the person Hope was talking to in 1957 was Gwen, her daughter. The children had given her the phone number so that Hope could contact Gwen, but when she tried to tell her name, the call cut off.
I said my name is Gwen. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me?
At that moment, the brother of the grabber appears, warning her that she shouldn't be there. The phone rings again just as Finney shows up to wake her. Gwen tells him that she spoke to her mother, but Finney tells her it was just a dream and takes her back to the house. The next day, Gwen insists that it wasn't a dream and tells him that she found the camp from where her mother called her. Her brother tries to convince him to take a job at the camp so they can investigate what's happening there, but he doesn't want to.
And we can find out what's
said
going
no.
on.
Until their father shows up and tells them that their mother worked at that camp. Because of that, Finn agrees, and together with Ernesto, they go to the camp. On the way, they run into a snowstorm and manage to reach the camp as best they can, where the supervisor Armando tells them that the camp was canceled due to the storm. And since they arrived early, they didn't receive the warning. So they are trapped at the camp, along with Armando's niece, Mustang, and 2 camp employees named Kenneth and Barbara. That night, Gwen dreams about the camp children again, who write another letter for her. Finn goes out to smoke and hears the camp phone ringing, but when he approaches it, it stops. And when he's about to leave, it rings again. Finn answers, thinking it's the same thing that always happens to him.
I'm sorry, but I can't help you.
But this time it's different. The phone won't stop ringing. Meanwhile, Gwen feels like there's something under the bed. When Finney answers again, the grabber greets him.
Hello, Finney.
while the murdered children are chasing Gwen. Finney hears Gwen's screams and runs to wake her. His traumatized sister tells him that she thinks she's going crazy. But Finney manages to calm her down. After that, Gwen tries to sleep with Ernesto and prays, asking not to have more nightmares. And for some reason, Ernesto thinks it's hot that Gwen talks to Jesus.
I think it's hot.
Gwen talks about her fear of going crazy like her mother, since she had the same paranormal ability. Ernesto doesn't feel that Gwen is crazy or weird for having those abilities. And when he was about to kiss her, Finn stops them.
Finn, you rotting shit stain. Have you been listening this whole time?
Yes.
The next day, Gwen tells her brother that she told Ernesto everything that's happening to them. He gets upset, but Gwen tells him that she needed someone to help her, since he doesn't pay attention to her. And besides, she shows him that in her dreams, the camp children marked her hand. While they were having breakfast, Armando asks them what they're doing at the camp. Finney tells him that his mother came to the camp and she's no longer with them.
She killed herself.
Armando regrets her loss and suggests they call their father so he knows they're okay. Finney takes the opportunity and asks him about the outside phone, but Armando tells him that it's been out of service for more than 10 years.
Oh, shit.
At that moment, Finney tells them that the grabber called him last night, just as the phone rings again. Finney runs to answer, thinking it's the grabber, but in reality, it's the camp children who ask him for help, but they don't remember where they are or how they died. Finn asks them how he can help them. The children answer that he has to find them. Meanwhile, Ernesto and Gwen ask Kenneth and Barbara for information about the camp to learn more about the murdered children. But Barbara doesn't want to know anything about that, so she doesn't give them any information.
You don't need to hear anything about that.
That night, Gwen dreams again, but this time with her mother talking to a child. That same child guides Gwen to the forest where some feathers fall. And then they guide her out of the cabin. While the phone rings again, Finn hears it and wakes Ernesto to look for Gwen while he answers the phone. Gwen sees that Finn and Ernesto are out there looking for her but decides to follow the children. When Finn answers, the grabber talks to him to tell him that you have to subscribe to the channel and give a like. What he really said is that he's coming for revenge.
Hello, Finney.
The children guide Gwen to the dining hall, but something locks her in the kitchen where the ovens turn on. Ernesto runs to get help, while the grabber complains to Finn about having made him kill his brother and tells him that, because of that, he'll make him suffer. So he appears in front of Gwen to try to hurt her. Gwen defends herself as best she can and resists until Ernesto, along with the others, come to help her. Although they don't manage to see the grabber, they only see Gwen flying around the place. No one does anything except Ernesto and Mustang. When Finn shows up, the grabber leaves her alone and leaves. Finn approaches Gwen and wakes her up to get her out of the dream dimension. After that, everyone gathers in the camp chapel. Gwen tells Armando about her dreams and that she believes the camp children want them to find their bodies so they can rest in peace. Armando is shocked because he's one of the few people who know how those children died, besides the police. Finn tells him that the grabber was the one who attacked his sister and that he is the boy who killed him.
Holy shit.
Armando tells them that when the camp owner closed the place, he kept coming in search of the children. Years later, he bought the camp at an auction, and every time the weather allowed it, he went out to look for the children, but he never found them. While looking at a photo, Finn realizes that the grabber worked with Armando and his mother many years ago. Upon seeing the photo, Armando realizes that that was a guy named Bill who worked in maintenance, and they always called him Wild Bill Hickok.
Wait a minute!
From the initials, Gwen realizes that that's what the children were trying to tell her, that the grabber was the one who killed them. Armando and the siblings deduced that the paranormal things started happening when the grabber died. Gwen comments that from her dreams, she believes the children are under a frozen lake, and that if they find them, that will take away the grabber's power in the dream world. Armando knows which lake it might be, so he tells the siblings that at dawn they'll look for them. But that night, the grabber tries to scare Armando, although he doesn't get scared that easily. After that, Armando approaches Finn, who is outside smoking alone. From his look and the traumas he had to go through, he knows that Finn is afraid, even if he denies it. Finn confesses that he's afraid of not being able to protect his sister. Armando advises him and tells him that to overcome that fear, you have to face it, and not let yourself be carried away by the anger it causes.
You can't just hold them in and numb it all out. You gotta face it and then you can let it go.
The next morning, everyone heads to the lake in search of the children, and they search and search until nightfall, but they don't find anything. At night, Finn tells his sister that they'll take turns with Ernesto to protect her, and they'll wake her if something happens. Ernesto is the first to stand guard while Gwen starts dreaming. But this time, witnessing when her mother had dreams about the grabber's kidnappings. Because of those dreams, her mother had guessed where the kidnapper's house was and went to help the boy she had dreamed about. But the grabber prevented that from happening. He invites Gwen to the truck, and she accepts. The grabber invited her to show her that her mother didn't actually commit suicide, but that he killed her.
You piece of shit.
After that, the grabber wants to check what would happen if he kills someone in the dream dimension.
I'd wake up.
Baby.
Gwen runs and, trying to escape from him, reaches the basement where the black phone is, which rings, and upon answering, a boy tells her to hide. She does so and tries to escape through the refrigerator, but when she can't, the grabber starts hurting her. Ernesto realizes and warns the others. One of the children helps her get out and transports her to the lake. To witness that Armando found one of the children, the others try to wake her, but she doesn't pay attention to them and walks to the ringing phone. The grabber talks to her and tells her that he won't allow them to take away his power. So he breaks the ice so that Armando falls into the lake. And why the grabber was able to break the ice being in the dream world? Well, I don't know, movie logic. He tries to strangle Gwen and makes her spin while the others try to wake her. She hears Finn saying to face the grabber, so she manages to control her dreams. Faces the guy and gets out of the dream on her own. Upon waking, Gwen warns them that Armando fell into the lake and everyone runs to look for him. Mustang warns Kenneth and Barbara that Armando found one of the children and asks for help to find the others. That same night, the siblings' father arrives to take them home. Finn is happy, but Gwen doesn't want to leave. Finn tells her that she has to go because he can't protect her from the killer, but Gwen basically calls her brother and her father pussies for always evading reality instead of facing it.
Pussy.
Finn gets angry with her and starts crying because of his trauma. His father tries to make Gwen go with them,
No.
but since she's determined to stay, she tells them that the grabber showed her that he killed their mother. To make her father believe her, she tells him exactly what he said when he saw his wife hanged, so he understands that her dreams and her mother's are not just ordinary dreams. Gwen convinces them to stay, and the next day they help search for the other children, but they don't find them. At dusk, Gwen falls asleep again. Mustang, Finn, and Ernesto try to wake her, but Finn realizes that she wanted to enter the dream world on her own. Upon entering, she's chased by the grabber, who starts dragging Kenneth across the ice, hurting not only him but also Barbara.
Ouch.
While the grabber is distracted, Gwen takes advantage to enter the lake and search for the other children who are in its depths. The grabber breaks the ice so that the cables they were using to grab the bodies fall. The siblings' father realizes and goes after them. While the grabber attacks Finn,
How the tables have turned.
Ernesto puts Gwen's body to safety. While she manages to pull out the bodies, Finn, as best he can, manages to counterattack. Gwen gets out of the lake and recites 1 Corinthians 15:55. The grabber tells her that God won't help her, but she knows that the murdered children will. Gwen grabs the axe and attacks him, telling him that he no longer has power now that they've found the children. Finn takes advantage of his weakness and starts hitting him. Then throws him into the lake. Finally, the grabber stays in the frozen lake. Or, in the frozen dream world? I don't know. This world is a bit ambiguous. Gwen says that the children took him away, so maybe he went to hell. She wakes up and kisses Ernesto.
My man!
The next day, Armando notifies the authorities that they found the children's bodies. When they were about to leave, Gwen tells Finn that the phone is ringing. He tells her to answer it, and when she does, her mother talks to her to tell her that she's in a beautiful place. Hope congratulates her for saving the children and tells her that the children are now where they should be. Before leaving, Gwen asks her if she'll continue with her curse. Her mother replies that her abilities are not a curse, and she asks her to tell her brother that she loves him and that Robin sends his regards. Gwen tells it to her brother, and then they go home with their father. And that is how the movie ends. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more horror stories. See you next time.